What's up, Black America? If you've been told to lie or believe that systemic racism, white supremacy, police brutality are the reasons why we as Black people can't make it in this country here in the 21st century in 2022, check out this video.
This is a long road. It took 9 children out of the cotton fields, out of poverty, out of Mississippi. But roads go both ways, and today they all returned. This is about going away and coming home. One after another, and from every corner of America, the cars turned into the yard. With much cheering and much hugging, the 9 children of Alex and Mary Chandler were coming home for their parents' 50th wedding anniversary.
There's my daddy.
Gloria Chandler Coleman, Master of Arts, University of Missouri, a teacher in Kansas City, was home. All 9 children have memories of a sharecropper's cabin and nothing to wear and nothing to eat. All 9 are college graduates. Cooking the meal in the kitchen of the new house the children built for their parents 4 years ago is Bessie Chandler Beasley, B.A. Tuskegee, M.A. Central Michigan, dietitian at a veterans hospital, married to a Ph.D. And helping out, Princess Chandler Norman, M.A. Indiana University, a school teacher in Gary, Indiana. You'll meet them all. But first, I thought you ought to meet their parents. Alex Chandler remembers the time when he had a horse and a cow and tried to buy a mule and couldn't make the payments and lost the mule, the horse, and the cow. And about that time, Cleveland, the first son, decided he wanted to go to college.
We didn't have any money, and we went to town. He wanted to catch the bus to go on up there, so we went to town and borrowed $2.50 from her niece and bought him a bus ticket to go up there. And when he got up there, that's all he had.
From that beginning, he became Dr. Cleveland Chandler. He is chairman of the economics department at Howard University. How did they do it? Starting on one of the poorest farms in the poorest part of the poorest state in America.
We worked.
You picked cotton?
Yes, picked cotton and pulled corn, stripped the millet, dug potatoes.
They all left. Luther left for the University of Omaha and went on to become the public service employment manager for Kansas City. He helped his younger brother James come to Omaha University too and go on to graduate work at Yale. And in his turn, James helped Herman in the blue suit there, who graduated from Morgan State and is a technical manager in Dallas. And they helped themselves. Fortson, a Baptist minister in Pueblo, Colorado, wanted to go to Morehouse College.
I chose Morehouse, and it was difficult for me not getting in, but I had to pick cotton all summer long to get the first month's rent and tuition.
So, helping themselves and helping one another, they all went away. And now, 50 years after life began for the Chandler family in a one-room shack in a cotton field, now, just as they were sitting down in the new house to the ham and turkey and sweet potatoes and cornbread and collard greens and 2 kinds of pie and 3 kinds of cake, now Donald arrived, the youngest, who had driven with his family all the way down from Minneapolis. And now the Chandlers were all together again.
Our Father in heaven, we come at this moment giving thee thanks that thou have been so good and so kind. Jesus. We want to thank you, oh God, for your love and for your son. Mm-hmm. Thank you that you have provided for us through all these years. Jesus.
Remembering all those years of sharecropping and going hungry and working for a white man for 50 cents a day and worrying about his children's future. Remembering all that, Alex Chandler almost didn't get through this blessing.
Jesus' name. Amen.
And neither did the others. The Chandler family started with as near nothing as any family in America ever did. And so their Thanksgiving weekend might have been more thankful than most. I'll Well, Fly Away is the name of the old hymn. It is Mr. Chandler's favorite. His 9 children flew away and made places for themselves in this country, and this weekend came home again. There probably are no lessons in any of this, but I know that in the future, whenever I hear that the family is a dying institution, I'll think of them. Whenever I hear anything in America is impossible, I'll think of them.
Now, if that didn't get you, and if that didn't move you, check this one out.
Even though a lot of the people at this year's Chandler family reunion weren't even born the first time CBS News covered it, the event began almost identically.
With much cheering and much hugging,
That's my daddy.
the 9 children of Alex and Mary Chandler were coming home.
Charles Kuralt first came here to Prairie, Mississippi 31 years ago. And the story he found in this family was easily one of the most inspirational of his career.
The Chandler family started with as near nothing as any family in America ever did. Alex Chandler remembers the time when he had a horse and a cow and tried to buy a mule and couldn't make the payments and lost the mule, the horse, and the cow. And about that time, Cleveland, the first son, decided he wanted to go to college.
So we went to town and borrowed $2.50 and bought him a bus ticket to go up there.
From that beginning, he became Dr. Cleveland Chandler, chairman of the economics department at Howard University.
Cleveland then helped put his younger brother Luther through college. Luther, in turn, helped James, who helped Herman. And to make a long story short,
All 9 children are college graduates.
it was the ultimate American success story. That was then, and that is still.
I knew that I was going to graduate from college. I just knew it.
I mean, it was a given. And we just grew up that way. It was a given.
You just expect to succeed. You expect to win.
Cleveland Jr. got a master's degree in music and now plays violin with the U.S. Air Force Band. His sister Kim wasn't as musically gifted, so she just became a neurosurgeon. Today there are 37 Chandler grandchildren with more than 37 college degrees. Talk to the original Chandler children. They'll credit their family's continued success on faith, family, education, and appreciation for the sacrifices that came before. Of course, the challenge for future generations will be keeping that history alive. But that's where the Chandlers have an ace in the hole.
9 children out of the cotton fields.
In a way, it was a great gift that Charles Kuralt gave you guys.
He had no idea.
There's so much value in that piece that you can go back and be able to teach a lesson.
And when your kids start not appreciating things,
Then you take them back to that quick.
listen to Uncle Kuralt.
Absolutely.
I know that in the future, whenever I hear that the family is a dying institution, I'll think of them. Whenever I hear anything in America is impossible, I'll think of them.
And if the Chandlers ever need reminded how special they are, I'm sure they'll think of Charles Kuralt.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What do we do as a culture? What do we do as a people, as a society, as Black people? 2 successful stories of one family, 2 generations who thrived and made it in deplorable conditions, basically abject poverty in the first generation. Next generation, second generation of that same family was able to thrive and make it as well. Is white supremacy the problem? Is racism the problem? Is systemic racism the issue? Or is it just bottom line laziness? Or is it people not taking responsibility for the choices and actions that they make? If you believe that the white man and the government is still keeping you down as a Black person, I only have 2 words to say to you. Bull crap. It's not the white man. It is you. It's the man in the mirror. It's the woman in the mirror. We in the 21st century have so many things to be thankful and be grateful to God for. God has placed us in this country, in a society where we have the opportunities that other countries wish that they would have and could have. What these families have shown me as a black person, and just as a person in general, you can make it if you put God first, and you definitely have the opportunities afforded to you in this country. And as the Bible says, with God all things are possible, even in America. Oh yeah, one more thing. It's also our black men, our fathers, being husbands to their wives and fathers to their children, raising their children in the fear and admonition of the Lord, remaining in the homes. It's the wives, it's the mothers, rearing and raising their children, submitting to their husbands as the head of the home. It's children obeying their parents, understanding their roles and responsibilities. When all three of those things combine and coalesce and run congruently together, then you see the black family, then you see our neighborhoods and our societies and our communities thrive as we once did before. Not crying about racism, not crying about what the other man is doing, but focusing on what God has called us to do. This too helps us as a people thrive and be successful here in the United States of America, in this country, in the 21st century.